In this week's Medical Moment, we continue our look at epilepsy and how it's treated.
While many take drugs to control their seizures, surgery is often a more effective option, and one procedure gives surgeons a good look at the brain before they even begin. That's Bill. He has problems with epilepsy. He was on medication for a while, but it didn't do that much good.
We're concerned that he had had a history of epilepsy for a few years. He's actually a good example of someone who's had a relatively recent onset of seizure activity. He is somebody who was increasingly experiencing seizure activity on a much more regular basis than he had been at the outset.
So Bill took advantage of the new Level 4 epilepsy program at Spectrum Health. He was the first person there to undergo brain mapping, where electrodes were implanted in his brain.
The electrodes are there specifically to record from the brain surface so that we can pick up the seizure activity when it arises and know very discreetly where it comes from, because the electrodes are sitting on or within the brain to identify where the seizures are.
Thanks to the brain mapping, the problem was diagnosed and the surgical procedure went smoothly for everybody involved. But even though he had surgery, Bill, like most patients, will remain on his medications for a little while longer.
Since the time of the surgery, we're not aware of his having any seizures. Now, he continues on his anti-epileptic medications for the time being as a matter of routine, and we'll follow him out over an extended period of time, upwards of 2 years, before we can establish whether the patient's on the right track.
Bill went home from the hospital June 21st and says he is absolutely thrilled with the results of his surgery.
He's done rather well. We don't accept a diagnosis or an outcome of a cure until we follow them out for some time.
But the good news is he's feeling well right now.
Yeah, that's a great ending to that story. Good for Bill. Don't forget, you can check out all of our medical moments.
Just head to fox17online.com and click on the news link at the top of the page.